Hi, my name is Cam Smith with ISN reporting for Sunday, August the 4th. Thank you for tuning in. We're the Canadian Little League Softball Championships from Layritz Field. This is the finals where we have Hampton up against Layritz.
Hampton Little League and the Layritz All-Stars have dominated opponents throughout the tournament. Layritz won the only matchup between these two teams, coming away with a 6-1 victory in a much closer game than the score would indicate. Anya Porter will take the mound for Layritz, while Hampton will counter with Paige Warren. This is an intriguing matchup of two exceptionally well-rounded teams that are loaded with talent. Fan support for this tournament has been growing all week, and they've shown up in full force today to cheer on their respective teams in this national championship final, where one team will earn their right to call themselves Canadian champions and represent their country at next week's World Series in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, Canada, we stand on guard.
And after a beautiful rendition of our national anthem, the stage is set for this Canadian championship. Teams are fired up. Time to play ball. Warren would lead things off for Hampton, but Anya Porter would throw a nasty pitch down and away for the strikeout. That's the way to get things started. Nella Folos up next in the 2-hole. She would take a rip at this ball, but she'd pop it up right at Tatum Rynan for the second out of the inning. Then Ashton Fong would take a walk on 6 pitches to put a runner on first for Hampton. Then with the count 2-2, Georgia Henderson would take a rip at this ball. This ball is hit deep. It is over the head of Jayla all the way to the wall. That thing just about goes over. And Ashton Fong rounds third base. This is going to score. And in with a stand-up double is Georgia Henderson. That is a major league hit, folks, and puts Hampton up early 1-0. And with a runner on second, Amanda Conrad would step up to the plate. She would pop this one up. That would go right to Cassidy Rouse for the third out, but not before Hampton takes an early lead 1-0. Paige Warren on the mound. Tatum Rynan leads it off, and she pops it up right to Carissa Dye. That's the first out of the inning. And with a full count, Lexi Walper would step up. She would hit this one to the opposite field. That's a nice hit, but Mackenzie Wickens is there for the second out of the inning. Next up, Annie Jorgensen. She would hit this ball right to second baseman Fong with a beautiful dive. That is a great stop. That saves maybe a double on that play. Then up next, Zoe Willington. She would hit this right to Fong again with another great snag over to Vivian Bales. Oh, just misses the runner. That was a close one. Runners at first and second, ever dangerous Anya Porter at the plate. She would pop this one up right to Vivian Bales. That's for the third out of the inning. 2 runners left on base for Layritz. That's still 1-0 Hampton. Next up to that, Vivian Bales. But Porter would sit her down on 3 straight pitches with a beautiful fastball. Then Porter would rear back and throw some high heat. That would strike out Dye swinging. And with Wickens at the plate, Porter would throw another high fastball. That strikes out the side, folks. That is a beautiful inning for Porter, 3 up, 3 down. Then Ruby Jones would be leading off the bottom of the second. She would throw down a nice bunt. But there's Paige Warren. She picks that up nicely and calmly over to Georgia Henderson. And with the 3-2 pitch, Warren would sit down Ralph with a beautiful fastball. Then Jayla would take her turn, but Paige Warren would say, not today. That is another strikeout for this young lady. That's 3 up, 3 down. Hampton still up 1-0. With Fisher leading things off, Porter rears back. There's another nice pitch. That's for a strikeout. And Paige Warren would step up to the plate. She's going to slap one nicely past the shortstop. That's going to be in for a single. Put a runner on for Hampton. Then Ella Fola, she's going to step up to the plate. She's going to lay down a beauty of a bunt. That's going to move Paige Warren over to second. No, she's going all the way over to third. That is some alert base running. Out at first is Folas. And with Warren at third base, Ashton Fong steps up to play. She's going to the opposite field. She would drive this ball. That's a nice hit. That's going to score Warren. That's going to put Hampton up 2-0. Then with Fong at first base, Georgia Henderson would take this first pitch, and she would hit it right to Cassidy Ralphs, and Ralphs would take the third out, but not before Hampton put another run on the board. It's 2-0, heading in the bottom of the third. Then Anderton Teasdale, she would drive this ball right over to Conrad. Conrad over to first base. This girl should be sponsored by Hoover because she's been vacuuming that balls all tournament long. Next up is Tatum Rynan. She is going to hit this ball. It's going to bloop in for a single to put Layritz on with a runner at first base. Let's see if they can get things going. And with Lexi Walper at the plate, Ryan would steal second place, but there's some sort of interference on this play. That is an out. And a little bit of confusion on the play, but the batter is out, and Ryan goes back to first. And with Jorgensen up next, she would hit this ball sharply again, right to Conrad with a nice scoop, but she would overthrow the ball, and that Ryan would move over to third. We've got first and third with 2 outs. With a man at the plate, the runner would steal second, uncontested, the throwback to Paige Warren, and all of a sudden, Ryan's going to steal home. Paige turns around, throws the ball. That is the third out of the inning. What a fantastic play, and a gutsy move. That's 3 outs, still 2-0. That takes us to the top half of the 4th inning. Lily Kleimanhagen up the plate. Porter would just blow one by her. She continues to shine. And then she would freeze Vivian Bales on this play with an outside pitch for the second out. Then on a 2-2 pitch, Porter would strike out Brooke McLean swinging. That would strike out the side. This young lady, Porter, she is throwing some heat today. As we move to the bottom of the 4th in this pitching duel, Paige Warren rears back. Zoe Willington, she would hit this ball. Fong just misses it off the top of her glove. That's a single for Willington. And that will bring up Anya Porter, who's going to hit this ball. That's going right to Ella Folas. It's going to drop in, but she picks it up literally to second base for the out. That's a fine play. And as we take a look at this one again, Folas would decide to one-hop this ball. Smart play, and she would get it over to first in a hurry, and that is an out, folks. Then with Robin at the plate, Porter would steal second. Rowan Fisher throws it in, right to Fong. One hopper picks it up. That is close, but she is safe. And Paige Warren continually to pitch well in this game. She would ring up Robin. That's for the second out of the inning, folks. Then Warren would sit down Ralphs. That would take care of the side. It is still 2-0. 1 runner left on base. And what a fine display of softball today by these girls. Mackenzie Wickett, she's going to lead off the top of the 5th. She would take a walk. That's a rare walk today. She heads to first. That puts the leadoff runner on for Hampton. Then Haley Carroll up the bat. She would lay down a beautiful bunt. That's going to move the runner over to second base. Out at first, Jorgensen with the throw. Runner in scoring position. Table set for Paige Warren. The pitch comes in. She would hit it right to Ryan. Oh, off her glove. That is going to put runners at first and third with 1 out in this tight ball game. Then next up, Ella Folas would go down swinging. You just don't see this. This is like Sasquatch's UFOs. Loch Ness Monster. This girl hasn't struck out all tournament. And with 2 out and runner at second, Ashley Fong. She would ground out right to Ryan with a beautiful play over to first base. That would retire the side. Then next up to bat, Emily Bowden in this really tight 2-0 ball game. She would take this ball. She would crush it. This ball is going all the way to the fence, folks. That is a major league crushing hit. Bowden comes into second. She's going to third. No, she's not. She goes back and wisely gets down. That is beautiful hitting, clutch hitting. That makes a runner in scoring position and gives time now for this Hampton squad to have a little talk on the mound. It's getting tight, and Robin Grant comes in to run, and she would steal third base. She goes in. She's safe. This crowd is getting pumped up. It is a tight ball game, folks. Runner at third base. And with Paige Warren a little bit of a jam, she would take care of business sitting down. Miss Simpson on a play. Paige Warren now set with 1 out to face Tatum Rynan. She throws up the offer. Rynan drives it right to Vivian Bales. Vivian Bales throws over to first base for the out, but not before Layritz gets on the board with her first run of the game. It's 2-1, but there's 2 outs, folks. This is a barn burner. And with the bases empty, up to bat is Allison. Allison would swing and miss. Paige Warren takes care of business. That is a big out, 2-1. Heading into the top half of the 6th inning. Anya Porter still on the mound with blow one by Georgia Henderson for the first strikeout in the top of the inning. That's going to bring up Amanda Conrad. She is going to go down swinging on 3 straight pitches. Anya Porter on fire. That's 11 strikeouts on the day. Next up is Chloe Baxter Mormon, but Anya Porter would just drive one right by her. That is on 3 straight pitches again. 12 strikeouts for the day for this young lady. This Hampton squad is fired up knowing they're 3 outs away from a national championship. And the first batter is Annie Jorgensen. She would take a walk on 5 pitches. And that's going to put the leadoff runner on in this tight 2-1 ball game. This is a tight one, folks. Ben Warren pitching a beautiful game. She would throw it to Zoe Willington. Willington with the pop-up. Warren gets him. She tries to get the runner at first base, but it misses. That would have been a second out. Goes all the way out in the field, but the runner has to go back and try and tag up, and she does, over to second base. That's a crazy play. And with 1 out, that puts a runner in scoring position for Layritz in this tight 2-1 ball game, folks. That brings up the big bat of Anya Porter. She would drive this ball right over to Fong. Fong off her chest, picks it up nicely, throws for the out at first base, but the runner will move over to third base. In this nail-biter, folks, this is going down to the wire. 2 outs, Ruby Jones at the plate, runner at third. She would drive this ball to left field, but Carissa Dye would take it with a beautiful catch. Hampton is your Canadian championship, folks, and they have stamped their ticket to this year's Little League World Series. They are going nuts. Good for these girls. Paige Warren just pitched a gem, folks. And you know what? This Hampton squad's defense was second to none. They played very, very, very well, and you got to tip your hat. You got to tip your hats to this Layritz team. They played fantastic all tournament long, and Porter pitched an absolute gem. 12 strikeouts on the day. But this day belongs to Hampton. They have shown all tournament long their grit, their moxie, and now they have shown that they are the Canadian champions, and they are off to the World Series next week in Portland, Oregon. They're gonna love this. These girls are really excited.
My team is amazing. All of our pitchers have done extremely well this weekend. I'm so proud of everybody.
Oh, it was crazy good. We were all screaming. I bet you half of us have lost our voice by now. It was really amazing.
You were part of the end of that.
Yeah.
What's going through your mind? Like that ball hit to you?
I was like, I need to catch that, or otherwise they might win.
I feel like there's so much adrenaline going through my brain that I'm like shaking, I'm like smiling, I can't breathe, I have no voice. Jeff is always telling us energy wins the game, and in this case it's true. It's so exciting. Like 4 in the morning, I'd gladly wake up for 4 in the morning. And you ask me, what would you do if you went to the World Series? And I'm just like, I'm freaking out still. I'm like in delusion still that it's still like happening.
It was a lot of nerves, but then we got over it after the first inning. Stuck up my first at bat too because I was so nervous, and it's a lot, and I'm just so happy now. I didn't even know why I was nervous because I should have been just so confident. We have to not get down on ourselves, so we have to have energy up in order to go and to win. So we tried our hardest and we came out on top. It'll be a lot different this time around because I'll have more playing time and I'll be one of the older ones, and it'll be a lot. I'm excited because I'll be more confident. I'll have more confidence in myself because I'm just a better all-around player than I was in 2017. So I'm so happy to do it with a new team and new experiences.
This was a fantastic tournament put on by Layritz Little League. They did a great job organizing this tournament. We got to tip our hats to them and the team for putting on such a good show. And Hampton, they are our Canadian champions. This is a fantastic opportunity for them. They're heading off to the World Series in Portland, Oregon. This is going to be some sort of fun for these girls. We'll be watching them on ESN for sure. From ISN, we thank you for giving the opportunity for us to show up and bring your girls to the limelight. This was a lot of fun for me. Let's leave you with some sights and sounds from the closing ceremonies. My name is Cam Smith with ISN. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you on the field.